So how can you tell me? So you're one of these athletes that I'm talking about, obviously, and you know you're not really a bodybuilder. I mean,
what?
Yeah, you're a lot. He's a lot more veiny than I thought, though. That's for sure. But from somebody else on YouTube that people say doesn't look like he lifts.
Right.
I'm curious, man. Can you give me some background on like your community and like what your mission is?
Welcome to PricePlow.
So I've been making YouTube videos for about 4 or 5, I guess like almost 5 years now, and it started out just heavily into the fitness world, and then the more and more I kind of like adapt, I realized that, you know, I'm never going to be the biggest guy, I'm never going to have the biggest biceps, so I shouldn't try to keep pursuing like trying to be one of those guys, because it's just not in the cards for me, and it wasn't really in my interest to become this huge guy. So I started to kind of more put my personality out there and like kind of taking the it ain't so serious. I still like to work out, you know, I still like to make progress when I can and enjoy time with my friends, but at the end of the day it's not that serious. So I think the community that I attract is maybe a lot of the smaller guys who maybe have a lot of self-doubt about like their strength potential, or just, you know, hey, I'm never gonna be this big, and I kind of, you know, lighten it into a way that, like, you know, it's not the end of the world. Like, everyone's kind of dealt different hands, and I'm having you know, a lot of fun with it. I'm still progressing in the strength. I'm still living this fitness lifestyle without it consuming me, and I just try to take the lighter approach than a lot of people do, and I think it really kind of adds a good mix into the whole fitness community, where, you know, you do have the serious bodybuilders and the super serious powerlifters that are 24/7, that's all they think about, and then you have, you know, someone like me who's maybe, you know, I like to do these things, but it doesn't consume my life to the point where that's the only thing that matters to me.
You're one of my favorite vloggers, and
hey,
yeah, recently, by the way, because I honestly, and I apologize, I didn't know who you were, and I saw you on Christian's channel, and we follow a lot of stuff. Like, he had some drama with Up Energy and whatnot, and we have to report on all this stuff. It's my job. But I saw you on his vlogs, and I started paying attention to yours, and I was like, man, you're the first person that I've seen that takes the vlogs and adds a comedic approach to it.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, you're like, it's not so serious, and I really get that emotion from you on the vlogs, and I appreciate it. I think like companies like ours, like, we put up these YouTube videos, and half the time it's like, well, they're not even jacked, or they're not even this and that, and we're like, yeah, but we still know what we're talking about, and we're still giving you great information. Can we get past that, you know? So anyway, I really appreciate your channel and what you do, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I think a lot of people who, you know, like you said about, you know, they're not even jacked, they don't look like this, or, you know, everyone has this opinion. I think what's, again, I know it's different about what I do is that, like, I pick fun of myself in almost every single video, so it's like, people who come to my channel who maybe would say those things, like, they're gonna, as soon as they say it, they're like, oh, I can't even talk anything bad, because he already says these things about himself anyway.
Right.
So it's just cool. It's cool. I think a lot of people have that, like you said, the comedy aspect of it. It's a huge aspect of what I try to do, lighten the day. And I think a lot of people have that, like, weird side of them. I just kind of show it on the internet.
Sure.
And then people kind of can relate to that. So
yeah, you're almost like our industry, like our industry's version of that. Who's that Liza chick? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like the big YouTubers, like 13 million followers.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of like goofy, like day-to-day kind of stuff. But I'm like, I feel like your channel provides that. But then you also have some serious, like, I saw you give your that car to your sister.
Right.
And that was a super powerful video, man. Like, I watched the entire thing, and I remember like wow, this like feels super, you know, like deep. You know, the whole thing was very heartfelt and very real. Yeah. So that was awesome.
I try to show a lot of my different sides. I think the comedy, you know, weird side of me is like the most portrayed, but I think the people who have been around for a long time and continue to stick around my channel, they see the different sides, they see the serious side, they see, you know, when I talk about, you know, life aspects, when I try to show giving back, I try to, you know, show a lot of different sides, but at the end of the day, I create content to be entertaining, and the other aspects of it, whether it be motivation, inspiration that maybe some people get, that's like almost like a byproduct, which is, you know, an afterthought of the just entertainment factor.
So why Ghost, and is your plan, like, I'm assuming you got your boss sitting right next to you, but you're ride or die Ghost, and why Ghost, you know?
So for the longest time, when I first signed with Ghost, I was looking for like a brand and a family to kind of grow with. I had worked with some, you know, off-brand, or I worked with a couple of different companies, you know, when I first started on YouTube and I first got into the fitness thing, but I never felt like I feel like there was never like growth within the company. I felt like I was just like an affiliate, a number, kind of like that. And then when I talked to Dan and Ryan a couple years ago, and they told me about this. I was like, this is awesome. I love what you're doing. You know, the family they're building was already people that I connected with, Christian, you know, Raymond, people like that I had already had this relationship with, and to be able to start with a brand that was, you know, from the ground up, to be able to build that relationship, to build that family feel, it was awesome. And I love the marketing aspect of what they do. I love, you know, I think a lot of people, like, they look at certain stuff and they don't really think that, you know, it matters as much. But like when I was buying pre-workout, you know, before I ever started YouTube, so I'd walk in the store and I'd be like, I would even look for stuff like, this is a cool looking bottle, things like that. And like, I appreciate those types of things.
Sure.
And
dude, a lot of people buy. I mean, think about like wine, right? Like people go buy wines, they're like, that's a cool ass label. Like I'm gonna try this wine.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And I thought a lot of things they were doing was cool. A lot of the freedom that Ghost has and they portray is very cool. I mean, fast forward to now, we're talking about my collaborative flavor with pre-workout. Like, you know, they're like, hey, whatever feedback with the label, we can, you know, we might even put your face on the label. Like, we can get weird with it. Like, it's like
a Steve-O tattoo type face,
it's cool because like no one's doing that, and like no one's like has that much creativity and like that much freedom with the brand, and you know,
oh my God, Ghost is gonna have a Maxx caricature.
The most important thing with Ghost, there's one takeaway, and I've said this a billion times, but like, we are building the brand that we always wish existed, right? And that comes down to even building the team behind the brand, right? It's like, you know, to put together a cast of characters where nobody knows each other and they're just taking pictures, posing with stuff. Like, dude, that's so, that's been done and it didn't go so well for those guys, right? We wanted to create an authentic family that practices what we preach. We build products for ourselves, right? And we want to show and share the whole process where, you know, guys like Maxx have been such an integral part of that. It's just been awesome to watch.
What is going on, guys? Maxx Chewning here. Everyone from the Potato Nation needs to go subscribe to PricePlow now.
Welcome to PricePlow.